It is spring 2023 and I am headed to the beach. Okay, I'm not really headed to the beach, but we are talking beach-themed products for your print-on-demand business. Before we dive in, I want to mention that Printify is the sponsor of this video and they provided these samples so we could do this review. All right, so I thought a beach theme would be a good opportunity to take a look at 3 products that I have not looked at samples of before from Printify. And also I thought it'd be interesting to sort of take the angle of making personalizable designs for all 3 of the products. So we're gonna take a look at the new all over print tote bag from MWW On Demand. This is the same style as their original all over print tote. This is just a weekender size bag. Basically, it's just an extra large size bag. It's a little bit more on the shallow side and more wide. We have an all over print beach towel from Spoke Custom Products, and we also have a pair of flip-flops from Spoke Custom Products. Starting off with the tote bag, this is going to be very familiar if you already sell or have gotten samples of MWW's sort of classic size all over print tote bag. It's basically the same product, it's just a different shape and size to it. So it's gonna have your black woven handles and a black interior as well. Now, my one complaint or one criticism of this product is the exact same complaint that I had about the rope-handled weekender bag, which I included in a video last year in 2022. And that is that for being considered a weekender bag, that's one you can, take on a short trip, take to the beach. I personally think it really should have a pocket on the inside, even just a basic open pocket, something you could slip your phone into or something like that if you're at the beach, just to keep something separate from the main compartment of the bag. So I really wish that both that weekender bag with the rope handles and this one had that inside pocket, and I don't think it would add any significant cost really. Other than that though, there's really nothing to complain about here. The quality of the product is the same, as I mentioned, as their regular all over print tote, which I find to be nice and sturdy. And the handle's also nice and sturdy and well attached. The print quality also, I have no complaints about. The seam on the bottom came out looking exactly like it does in the mock-up, and so did the placement of the name that I put in the middle here. Of course, Jax is the name of my cat, in case you were wondering, so this is his weekend beach bag. Now for this one, I did not use Printify's built-in text layer in their design editor. As you can probably tell from the font, this is not a font that they have available. So for this one, I used the process of just saving an Adobe Photoshop PSD as a template for this. So if I get an order, I would have to come back, I would have to open the PSD, change the name, export a new file, upload it to Printify, and then edit that order before it goes to production. So that is one way to handle the personalization of these products. As far as how it came out on the tote bag, again, no complaints with this particular print or this product. Now the pricing for the larger weekender size bag is a little bit higher than the regular all over print tote. The Printify premium price is $17.18 with a $5.49 shipping charge to the US, so that gets your total cost up to $22.69. So that means for a 30% profit margin, you're looking at a total price of $38, so I would probably be looking at $34.99 with a $4 shipping charge. And that is one of the reasons why I thought of taking the personalized angle for these products in this video, because I think both the tote bag and the beach towel are a little bit high on the pricing side of things, but that can be justified if you're selling custom designs. And speaking of the beach towel, let's talk about that now. So for the beach towel and the flip-flops, I used the other method of personalization, which is to use Printify's built-in text layer option. That means you don't have to go and export a new print file every time you get an order. With a new personalization, you just have to create a copy of the listing in your Printify account, go into the text layer, change the personalization, and then swap it out on the order. But let's take a look at the beach towel now. So this, I would say, is, relatively thin. However, a beach towel is not a bath towel. So generally speaking, they are thinner than bath towels. So I'm not super concerned with the weight of it. I think it's still appropriate for a beach towel. The way this print came out, I'm actually quite happy with. It seems though that what they do, or the way the product is printed, the nap of the fabric, it's like really flattened down, probably so that the print doesn't come out uneven, so that the lines are a little bit more crisp. I think it might look a tiny bit different after we wash it. So I am gonna wash it, and I'll show you a clip of what it looks like after the first wash a little bit later. But I do think the print came out very nice on it. The lobster pattern that I put on it, the lines of the design and graphic all look very nice, I think. And as I mentioned, the personalization in the center is the text layer. This is one of the fonts that Printify has available to use. So as far as print quality on the towel, no complaints right now, but I will comment on that after the first wash if anything, changes with the way the print looks. Pricing wise on these, this is the 30 by 60 size. There is also a 36 by 72 size. So the pricing for the larger one obviously will be a little higher, but for this one, the pricing is $14.80 Printify Premium plus $10.69 shipping. So that means a total price of $25.49, and you're looking at about $42 total price needed to get to a 30% profit margin. So that means probably $36.99 with a $5 shipping charge. And like I said, that's a little higher than I would like for this product. I would like to be able to sell this closer to the $30 price point, maybe $32.99 plus shipping. I think $36.99 plus shipping is a little high, but again, I think if you're selling personalized designs or custom, designs, that is something that justifies that higher price a little bit better. Moving on to the flip-flops, these are probably the best pricing opportunity of these three products because they are quite affordable. And as I mentioned, these are from Spoke Custom Products. They are available in sizes small to extra large. We'll take a closer look at those sizes in the Printify catalog in just a moment. As far as product quality, they are pretty much what you would expect for sort of a run-of-the-mill flip-flop. There's really nothing special or fancy about them. They do have a little bit of grippiness to the bottom. They're just an average thickness foam flip-flop. I just have one mini criticism on the print quality. I do think the colors of the print came out a bit faded compared to how the print file and the mock-ups look. So I'll put one of the mock-ups up on the screen next to a close-up of the actual product so you can see what I mean. I just think that the colors came out a little bit kind of on the dull side compared to what the print file looks like. So that is something to keep in mind. But other than that one issue, I don't really have any complaints about the way the print came out or the product itself. The pricing on these is $8.33 Printify Premium plus $5.69 shipping to the US. So that is a total price of $14.02, which means for a 30% profit margin, we are looking at $24. So you could do $23.99 with free shipping or $19.99 with $4 shipping and get that 30% profit margin, especially if you're doing custom personalized designs like these that have, people's initials on them or a destination or something like that. I think that there's some decent opportunity here. As you'll see when we hop over to the computer, some of the more general search terms that for other products are super saturated actually don't have quite as high of competition as you might expect. All right, before we jump over to the computer and talk design and niche ideas, I'm gonna go throw this beach towel in the wash and then we'll come right back and talk about how it came out. All right, the beach towel has come out of its first wash, and I have to say I'm pretty pleasantly surprised with the way this came out. I thought for sure that because of how flattened down this top layer was for the printing, I thought for sure that when it came out, it was gonna have like significant fading look to it, but actually, it looks pretty good. Of course, now that more of this top layer is sort of standing up, you're gonna see some of that white underneath the print, but the lines still look pretty crisp. I think this looks pretty nice, and I don't really have any quality concerns with this print after the first wash. All right, now let's hop over to the computer and we'll take a look at some of the design information for these three products and some niche ideas. All right, so let's take a look at the design process for these items and then also maybe a couple niche ideas here. If we start with the Weekender tote bag, that's gonna be your easiest one, especially if you've done tote bags before because it's a very basic print area. There's not a whole lot to do here. And this is the one that I put the personalization in the actual print file. So I made my personalization outside of the design editor view here, and it's just baked into the print file. So what I like to do with my tote bags, if it's gonna be mirrored on both sides and it's not just like one big seamless pattern, I upload mine as one side. So basically I just have one print file that's like half of the height of the full print area, and then I align it as I want it on one side, and then I just use the little feature here in this little hover menu to duplicate it. And then you can either use one of the bounding boxes here to rotate it, or you can just come over to the rotation in the menu on the side and put in 180 because you just want to flip it over. And then I just align it on the bottom half of the tote bag and make sure that all of the lines match up with the top half. You also want to make sure you have a little overlap on the bottom here, just so you don't have any white line running in between the two print files. And the preview on this one gives you a view of the bottom, which is nice, so you can see what to expect there across that bottom seam. You can make sure you don't have any gap. And the mock-ups they give you on this one are pretty useful, I think. All you need to do is download these, use this little link in the bottom left corner of the preview screen to download a few of them, bring them into Canva or Photoshop or whatever you like to use. Just delete the white background and then put it on some context, like on a tabletop or maybe on some wood background or something like that, just to make it so that it's not just plain white. Now, one interesting niche that I came across as I was searching for opportunities for all of these products was Mrs., and specifically Mrs. Beach Tote for this one, but we'll see Mrs. Beach Towel in just a moment as well. So this one has 2,100 search results, and a lot of what I see here are in the price range, but there's just this wide variety of different styles of bags. A lot of them are canvas style, and actually there is one of the rope handle printed ones from MWW On Demand, and actually this one looks like it is the exact tote that we're talking about here based on this mock-up. But one thing I noticed is I don't see a ton that actually incorporate a design, and a lot of them are just like white text or black text. I think there's a little bit of opportunity here to do something a little different, maybe a little colorful, and the competition's not too crazy on this one. And it actually would make a good companion product to the beach towel because there also is a low-ish competition niche here for Mrs. Beach Towel. So about 1,900 search results. Sales Samurai extension was estimating around 200 monthly searches for this. So you see a bunch of Mrs. Beach Towels. A lot of them have the year on there, which is a nice personalization option you can add. A lot of them are also being sold as a set, Mr. and Mrs. Beach Towels, and that brings me to yet another potential niche opportunity here for beach towels, and that would be newlywed beach towels as the search phrase. Again, a little over 100 monthly searches according to Sales Samurai, 1,500 search results. These are going to be your matching sets. This is something that you can do with a combination listing. You can basically build a combo listing that includes both the Mr. and the Mrs. design options so that the customer can add one of each if they would like. And of course, you can also do the personalization of the year. I do have a video all about creating combination listings. I will put a link to that in the description and in the corner of the video. So there's a couple niche ideas for beach towels as well as that tote bag. I think it'd make a great companion product to do the tote bag. When it comes to designing the beach towel, it is pretty darn easy. This is one of the easiest products to design, I think, because it's just one big rectangular all over print area. You can do solid graphics. You can do repeating patterns of an individual graphic. You can do seamless patterns. You can do solid colors. It's basically just like designing a fabric poster. You can do anything you want with it. And as I mentioned for the beach towel, for the personalization on this one, I did not do this in my actual print file because what I did for the design was I created a repeating pattern here. So this lobster graphic is not actually a seamless pattern. It is just an individual SVG. And then I used Printify's pattern creation feature over here on the right to actually make my pattern, add a little rotation to it, create kind of an offset. And then I just added a text layer right here in the design editor and chose a font. And so now anytime I want to edit this name in here for an actual order, all I have to do is come to my Printify account while the order is still in draft status, which for me, it will be until I submit it because I use manual order submission. I just come here to my Printify account and I use the duplicate or copy button here to create a new draft of this product. It'll bring it right up to the top. I come into my design editor view here and I click on my text layer. I change my text to whatever the customer requested, and I make sure, of course, that it is centered in the print area. If I need to size it differently, I can adjust it. Then all I'm going to do is click the save button, which is behind my head, and I'm going to name this so that I know which one it is, and I will put Jamie right in the name. Whatever the personalization was, I'll put it in the names so I know that. Save it as a draft. Don't publish it. Now you have a separate product in your catalog here. We can go back to the customer's order that is waiting to be submitted, edit the order, swap out the product for the one that we just personalized, and then submit it. It's as simple as that. Every time you get an order, you can just change that text right there on Printify. All right, let's take a look at the flip-flops, and I just want to point out a couple things here, and we'll talk about the niches. So for sizes, you have small, medium, large, and extra large. These are unisex sizes. There is a size chart in the catalog page that you can just copy or save as an image and then put that into your listing. Designing them is pretty easy. All I did for this one was this is just a transparent PNG palm tree graphic. I used Printify's background color selection here to just put a solid color background. Of course, you can do patterns. You can do anything that you like for the background. It doesn't have to be a solid color. And then again, I use Printify's custom text layer to do the initials here for the personalization. So overall, nothing really difficult here as far as the design process. For the flip-flops, you just want to make sure that any important design elements are within the safe area here so that you know they're not going to get potentially cut off. And then the mockups they give you, I think, are actually quite reasonable. They give you a couple of context mockups that you can use. Of course, you can always download the plain white background ones and add your own background as well. Now, here's where things get interesting. Generally speaking, if we were going to search for the word personalized in front of any search phrase, most of the time we're talking super high competition, completely saturated, like there's no point in using that as your title or your main tag. For example, if I just search for personalized sweatshirt on Etsy, I'm going to get over 160,000 search results. So this is not a phrase that should be like the front end of your title for any listing because you're just going to get lost in that much competition and it's way too general. However, when it comes to flip-flops, we have a different story here. If I search for personalized flip-flops, I'm getting 2,500 search results. Custom flip-flops is the same story. We have 2,200 search results. Monogram flip-flops is giving me 1,000 search results, so that would be your flip-flops with initials. And family flip-flops has 2,100 search results. So this would be like, a set of flip-flops that you put each other's names on or something like that. These more general search terms seem to have a little bit lower competition with flip-flops. Now, I'm not suggesting that the demand around these search phrases is going to be really high. So I wouldn't expect to just automatically make a bunch of sales in these general search phrases around flip-flops just because the competition is low. But to me, this could be an opportunity to have a few designs that fit under each of those. You still are going to want to, include more specific tags and phrases in your titles besides these general ones. But ultimately, I think it can still fit into your overall strategy because after all, if you have enough listings that sell one here, one there, then ultimately that should add up to regular sales. So to me, I'm okay with making a listing that's only going to sell one here, one there, because I have enough of those listings that it adds up to regular sales. And to me, this could be one of those opportunities to make some flip-flops that go under the personalized categories that are a little bit lower search volume. All right, so that's it for this video. Have fun making your beach or summer-themed designs for the warmer weather in 2023. Let me know down in the comments what you think of these products and if you're selling them in your store. If you found the video helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button so YouTube can show it to more people. And don't forget to subscribe to the POD Insights channel. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.